When a man saves a baby elephant from drowning, the herd does something unexpected. Elephants are amazing creatures, and their mental intelligence and immense size make them unique. One of the most fascinating facts about elephants is that no one is ever left behind by a herd of them. Unfortunately, the elephant species are all endangered at the present time, but many live in the wild freely. In the wild, however, there is far more danger than in a zoo. But when a young elephant gets into trouble and falls into the mud pit, the entire herd works to save him. Unfortunately, the herd could not rescue their family member, and soon animal conservationists arrived on the scene and helped the drowning baby elephant. The rescue workers had seen nothing like what the elephants did afterward, as they could not predict how the elephants were going to respond. Well, this incident occurred along the stunning Lioness River in southern India. The thick forest around the river serves as the sanctuary for a local herd of elephants in the forest. These giant creatures live freely and uninterrupted there, as the humans in the area respect and appreciate these beautiful animals. One day when the elephant procession was crossing the Lioness River, something unusual happened. A beautiful baby elephant has been born to one of the herd's females recently. But when the baby elephant was crossing the river, he ran into a difficult situation, as babies are not accustomed to crossing rivers. Usually, elephants are considered huge because of their size, but this baby was just 1/6 of the size of a fully grown adult. As the herd was crossing the river, the baby elephant lost his balance and slipped into a hole between the land and the river. As you can well imagine, getting out of that situation is not easy. And the situation became more intimidating as the hole was full of mud and even started to fill with water. Because of the slippery sides of the mud pit, the young elephant was not able to get out on its own. Due to their immense size, the herd could not enter the pit and assist the baby up. Although saving the drowning baby elephant was imperative, they had no idea how to do it. Because of the struggle to escape the mud pit, the baby elephant was exhausted. Due to panic among the herd, the baby elephant started crying in agony. All of a sudden, the whole herd started stomping around, crying out as their youngest member cried out and screamed desperately for help, as if they were hoping a human would hear and will help the baby elephant. But sadly, the long day of trouble was just starting for the little creature as many hours went by. The situation became more serious, and the baby elephant showed signs of fatigue and distress. And also, the herd was in pain watching their young member drowning. In spite of not being able to do anything, the herd never left another behind. Upon seeing the baby's eyes close because of exhaustion or perhaps imminent death, the herd trumped its trunk even louder. Luckily, this time their cry was heard across the forest. The older members of the herd sounded intense warnings as time ran out for the drowning baby elephant. This time, the deafening sound was as loud as it was heartbreaking, as elephants are known for sounding a distress signal that resembles a trumpet when they sense danger. Fortunately, out of nowhere, the local community had begun to hear the noises, and they knew that they couldn't ignore the elephants. Initially, they were not able to locate the noises or their meaning and hesitated to do anything. As the frantic brain continued to whir, the people could tell that something wasn't quite right. So the sounds, which are too loud to ignore, many people decided to join together and investigate to understand what the actual situation is. After some time, the group realized the sounds were coming from the forest, less than a mile from the town. They start moving towards the forest, and one of them recognizes the calls are for help, even though they are aware that they had to push cautiously in order to help. As the herd brayed and the townspeople approached, the drowning baby elephant felt a ray of hope shine upon him. Not only did he realize that he wasn't alone, but also that he was loved and cared for. He also gathered a little strength and tried again, as he was desperate to make it through. But the hole was too deep for him to escape. Meanwhile, some people felt some fear, and as they were thinking about what would have happened with the elephants. But even knowing the group of elephants could present physical danger, they have continued to see what caused the problem. They moved carefully towards the mud pit when they first saw the herd, which was braying and anxiously pacing in a circle. Upon reaching closer, they spotted the drowning baby elephant in the hole and realized that the herd was just seeking help. After that, they informed the authorities to come up with the right equipment to save the baby elephant. By quickly understanding the situation, some people rushed back to the town to look for assistance. Because with time, the baby elephant was getting weaker to the extent that he was barely able to move. After waiting for several hours, the rescue team suddenly arrived at the spot. The locals immediately cleared the path for rescuers, as some of the elephants paced around anxious. But amazingly, none of them showed any violence towards the people. Now it was the time to save the drowning baby elephant. The rescue team was based on forest officers and wildlife conservationists, and they asked the locals to step aside so they could do their job at best, and also managed to move the herd back a few feet, which provided them enough room to work. And finally, when the team had a closer look at the drowning baby, things were very bad than ever before, as they realized they cannot handle problems on their own, because they need big equipment to get the job done. With this situation, the whole night passed with the baby elephant stuck in the mud pit. No one from the herd and the rescuers went anywhere. But the next morning, everyone heard a loud rumbling coming from the town as the big vehicles were approaching. As more help arrived, the new team members brought a huge excavator with them. Still, they have to figure out how they can rescue without hurting the baby elephant. The rescue work started with clearing the workspace. As you might expect, the herd did not want to leave the drowning baby, and they frantically moved about wanting to keep an eye on their youngest member. But the team was determined to do their best. Overnight, the mud around the baby elephant in the hole had dried, making the young elephant not able to move. The rescue team was well aware while running the excavator that a single wrong move can be proven to be fatal for the drowning baby elephant. After hours of digging the mud pit, they managed to open it enough to start the next phase. That is removing the baby elephant from the hole. But sadly, this would also be going to take several hours. Having the hole wide open, the rescuers asked the locals for help. Some of the strongest were asked to help carry the elephant out, and the rest of them were assigned to monitor the rest of the digging. And thankfully, they all felt willing to help the calf. And this was turned into a collective effort, as everyone was devoted to helping the baby elephant. Around 48 hours had passed since the baby elephant got stuck, and none of the elephants had left the scene, even though the noises and vibrations from the machines were disturbing, but the herd remained calm. However, just at the time, when rescuers could begin to see a way of saving the drowning baby elephant, the excavating machine stopped working. And the silence was definitely heartbreaking and deafening. Well, after many tries, the engine refused to cooperate. But thanks to a local who was an expert on engines, and suddenly the excavator roared back to life, and everybody cried out a celebratory cheer. Now, again, they resumed the rescue operation and reached the final part of their plan. It was creating a sloping trench that helpers could utilize to push the baby elephant out of the hole. And eventually, after around 2 days, the animal rescue team was seeing their finish line. After creating the trench, one of the rescuers, with a heaving push, helped the baby elephant back up onto land. And after a firm push, the team and locals have rescued the drowning baby elephant, with the help of a machine and, of course, from the little elephant. After that, the baby elephant rushed towards its mother, instantly caressing tusks. And once again, the herd suddenly gave out a thunderous cry, but this time, this was for appreciation and delight. At the moment, the locals witnessed how much love animals like elephants are capable of showing. Everyone was satisfied and filled with joy and happiness as they watched the young baby elephant reunited with its herd. Well, no one can imagine how animals like elephants feel gratitude. But after that incident, something unexpected happened that left the people wondering. Because after saving the baby elephant, all of the herd turned around to face the rescuers. And then they waved their trunks, giving out more trumpet sounds. Anyone can feel the joy in those sounds. And it seems the herd was giving the people a final salute and thanking them for their help. This was really unbelievable, as some of the villagers shed tears while watching their herd slowly walk away with their little one. Surely, this incident was going to last in their memories forever. If you like this story, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more interesting stories. As always, thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next one.